Welcome to Lesson 5.1 of the Grant Architect course and the beginning of Week 5, Goals, Objectives, and Specific Aims. This week's theme is crystallizing the project's intent into measurable targets. Building on the logic model foundation from Week 4, we now translate program theory into concrete commitments. In this lesson, you will understand the critical distinction between goals and objectives, a semantic hierarchy that confuses many grant writers but is essential for effective proposals. By the end of this lesson, you will clearly distinguish goals from objectives and understand why this distinction matters. The distinction between goals and objectives matters significantly in grant writing. Common confusion arises because goals and objectives are often used interchangeably in everyday language. Many grant writers treat them as synonyms. This imprecision weakens proposals. Funder expectations require precise language. Reviewers are trained to distinguish goals from objectives. When you confuse them, reviewers question your understanding of program design. Evaluation implications differ because goals and objectives require different measurement approaches. Goals guide direction while objectives specify measurable targets. Conflating them creates evaluation problems. Proposal quality signals competence. When your language is precise, reviewers trust your thinking is precise. Clarity in goals and objectives suggests clarity in program design overall. Goals are broad and abstract statements of intent. They describe the big picture of what you are trying to accomplish without specifying exactly how you will measure success. Goals are aspirational, representing what you hope to achieve ultimately. They capture the dream, the vision, the reason your program exists. Goals inspire and motivate. Goals are directional, pointing toward a desired future state. They answer the question of where you want to go, not exactly how you will get there or how you will know you have arrived. The long-term focus of goals means they may extend beyond the grant period. While your specific project may last 3 years, your goal of improving community health is ongoing. Goals persist beyond individual grants. Examples illustrate the broad, aspirational nature of goals. A health goal might be to improve the overall health of the community. This is broad, encompassing many possible interventions and outcomes. It does not specify which health indicators, by how much, or by when. An education goal might be to increase educational attainment among youth. Again, this is aspirational and directional without specifying grade levels, metrics, or targets. An economic goal might be to reduce poverty in the service area. This points toward a desired state without specifying measurement methods or quantitative targets. A social goal might be to strengthen family stability and well-being. This captures intent without defining what stability means or how well-being will be measured. Objectives are narrow and concrete statements of intended results. They specify exactly what you will accomplish in terms that can be verified. Objectives are measurable, including quantifiable targets. They answer how much change you expect, how many people will be affected, or what percentage improvement you will achieve. Numbers matter in objectives. Objectives are time-bound, specifying when results will be achieved, by the end of year 1, within the grant period, or by a specific date. Time constraints make objectives verifiable. The grant period focus means objectives should be achievable within your project timeline. Unlike goals that persist, objectives specify what this specific project will accomplish during its funded period. Examples illustrate the specific measurable nature of objectives. A health objective might be to reduce diabetes hospitalizations by 15% within 24 months. This specifies the indicator, the magnitude of change, and the time frame. Verification is straightforward. An education objective might be to increase high school graduation rate from 75% to 85% by year 3. Current state, target state, and timeline are all specified. An economic objective might be to connect 200 unemployed adults to living wage jobs annually. This specifies the population, the number, the outcome, and the time period. A social objective might be to reduce child welfare referrals by 25% within the grant period. Percentage change and time frame make this measurable. Understanding the semantic hierarchy helps place goals and objectives in context. Mission defines why the organization exists. It is the most fundamental statement of purpose, rarely changing. Mission guides everything else. Goals describe what you want to achieve broadly. They translate mission into program direction. Goals are more specific than mission but less specific than objectives. Multiple objectives may serve a single goal. Objectives specify measurable targets. They translate goals into verifiable commitments. Objectives tell funders exactly what you will accomplish. Activities describe what you will do to achieve objectives. These are the actions, interventions, and services that produce results. Activities serve objectives, which serve goals, which serve mission. Goal-objective alignment ensures coherent program design. Vertical alignment means objectives clearly support goals. Each objective should visibly contribute to goal achievement. If an objective does not advance a goal, question its inclusion. Multiple objectives per goal is typical. A single goal of improving health might have objectives related to access, behavior change, and clinical outcomes. Several specific targets contribute to one broad aspiration. Logical connection means achievement of objectives should advance goals. If you accomplish all objectives but make no progress on goals, the alignment is broken. Objectives should be sufficient for goal progress. Evaluation link uses objective achievement to indicate goal progress. While goals may be difficult to measure directly, achieving their supporting objectives suggests goal progress is occurring. Common mistakes undermine goal and objective sections. Using interchangeably treats goals and objectives as synonyms. Writing goal when you mean objective or vice versa confuses readers and suggests unclear thinking. Measurable goals add numbers to statements that should be broad. If your goal includes percentages and timelines, it is probably an objective. Goals should be aspirational, not quantified. Vague objectives lack specific metrics. We will improve student achievement is not an objective because it cannot be verified. Without numbers and timelines, objectives are just goals in disguise. Misaligned pairs occur when objectives do not clearly support stated goals. If your goal is about health but your objectives measure economic outcomes, the logic is unclear. Alignment should be obvious. Funder terminology variations require attention. Federal grants often specify exact terminology requirements. The Notice of Funding Opportunity may define what goals and objectives mean for that program. Follow those definitions regardless of what you learned elsewhere. Foundations may use goals, objectives, and outcomes interchangeably. Private funders are often less precise about terminology. Understand what they actually want rather than assuming definitions. The National Institutes of Health uses specific aims rather than goals and objectives. Research grants have different conventions. An NIH-specific aims page has its own structure we will explore later this week. The key principle is to follow the Notice of Funding Opportunity and match funder language precisely. If they ask for goals, provide goals as they define them. If they ask for objectives, provide objectives meeting their criteria. Adapt your terminology to each funder. Writing effective goals follows several guidelines. Start with action verbs that indicate direction. Improve, increase, reduce, strengthen, enhance, and promote all work well. Verbs indicate movement toward a desired state. Keep broad by resisting the temptation to add specific numbers. Goals should be aspirational statements, not quantified targets. Save the numbers for objectives. Connect to mission by ensuring goals align with organizational purpose. Your goals should clearly relate to why your organization exists. Disconnected goals suggest mission drift. Limit number because 1 to 3 goals is typically sufficient for a grant proposal. Too many goals diffuses focus. Each goal should be substantial enough to warrant multiple supporting objectives. Writing effective objectives requires precision. Be specific by identifying exactly what will change. Not improve outcomes, but increase test scores. Not help people, but connect 150 participants to services. Specificity enables verification. Include metrics that quantify expected change. Percentages, numbers, rates, and scores are all appropriate metrics. Without quantification, an objective cannot be measured. Set timeframes that specify when change will occur. By month 6, within year 1, by project end. Time bounds create accountability and enable progress tracking. Ensure achievability by setting realistic targets. Ambitious objectives are good, but impossible objectives are counterproductive. Base targets on evidence, capacity, and comparable programs. Testing your objectives ensures they are properly constructed. The verification test asks whether you can prove you achieved it. At project end, will you be able to definitively say you did or did not accomplish this objective? If verification is unclear, revise. The measurement test asks what data will demonstrate success. If you cannot identify the data source and measurement method, the objective may not be truly measurable. The timeline test asks whether the time frame is realistic. Given your activities and resources, can you actually achieve this result in the stated time? Unrealistic timelines set you up for failure. The connection test asks whether this clearly supports a stated goal. The logical connection between objective and goal should be obvious. If you have to explain the connection, strengthen it. Here is a practical exercise to apply what you have learned. Step 1. Write one broad goal for a program you know. Choose a program you understand well. Draft a goal that is aspirational and directional without being measurable. Use an action verb. Step 2. Draft two objectives that support that goal. Write specific measurable targets that would advance your goal. Include numbers and time frames. Step 3. Verify objectives include metrics and time frames. Review each objective. Does it specify how much change? Does it specify when? If not, revise. Step 4. Check that objectives clearly connect to the goal. Read your goal, then read each objective. Is the connection obvious? Would achieving these objectives advance this goal? Adjust as needed. Let us summarize the key points from this lesson. Goals are broad, aspirational statements of intent. They point toward desired future states without specifying exact metrics or timelines. Goals inspire and guide. Objectives are specific, measurable targets with time frames. They specify exactly what will be achieved, by how much, and by when. Objectives enable verification. The hierarchy shows objectives supporting goals, which support mission. This cascade from abstract to concrete ensures alignment throughout your proposal. Each level serves the one above it. In our next lesson, we will explore the SMART framework for objectives in depth. SMART provides criteria for evaluating whether your objectives are properly constructed. Understanding SMART will strengthen your objective writing skills significantly.